Hello, everyone. Welcome to William in the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Edward. Edward is from London in the UK. So let's see what Edward has to say. Enjoy the interview. So, hello, Edward. How are you?
I am very well, thank you.
So, tell me, how's your day going so far?
It's beautiful. In London, we have the sun out, which we've been starved for 5 months. Basically, we have the sun out, it's blue sky, it's actually quite warm. And I've spent the morning helping my friend with her flower business, which I do every Saturday. So it keeps me out of trouble and it's a pleasure. It's in our community. I know a lot of people around here.
Amazing. And London is the place where you're born and raised?
Yeah, I was born in West London and I'm
Um,
still here.
so, tell me, what was the biggest joy of growing up in London, in your opinion, experience?
Oh, wow. I wonder what it was. I would say for me, it probably was the proximity to my cousins, who are my favorite people, some of my favorite people in my life. So yeah, I'm an only child, so they were not too far away, and so it meant that I got to spend time with them. But look, there are plenty of other great reasons why I was happy growing up here. Definitely.
Wow. And for you right now, what's the biggest joy of living in London right now, in your opinion?
Oh, being able to perform, having the arts here. Yeah, yeah, I'm very happy.
So let's start the interview talking about your career as an actor. So tell me how everything started.
Well, it started probably the bit that I really remember the most was being cast as Princess Sarah Linda in my all boys school.
Right.
I didn't think I was going to get that, and my only line was, "I wish him well." I wish him well, because I had a spell cast on me by my wicked uncle. However, the main point that I realised that I had something, there was a power around it that just blew me away
Wow.
was when I was 13 at my school. We had a biannual play and we performed the 12th night, and it was a huge production. And I got cast in one of the main parts, Malvolio, but even though it was a senior play, so it was a real privilege, and I had such a buzz from it. 5 nights.
Wow. Amazing. Right. So let's start the interview talking as well about a new play that you are rehearsing right now for Walking Each Other Home by my great
Mhm.
friend Tim. So tell me, how has been the experience of putting all together?
Well, in all honesty, we've only just really started. I have had the script for over a month, I would say. Time is flying fast. I have my second full day rehearsal with them tomorrow, which I'm really excited about. Uh, I think sometimes in life, destiny plays a card, and meeting Tim was very interesting. He's so passionate about what he does. He's also very instinctive about what he does, and I really get that. But also our director, Jason, is I've only met him once, but immediately I just think he's got such a brilliant, bubbling, hilarious, fun, engaged, and intelligent personality. I feel like I'm in safe hands.
Wow.
And then the other two actors are so talented. And I think we've just got a very fortunate little group of us working on this. And it is small, it's only five of us
Wow.
before you include the PR team, etc., etc.
And what's the play about the play about it, and how did you get cast for it?
The play has a lot of layers to it. Uh, but from my own perspective, I I see it as being a play that examines childhood, our memories of our childhood, and those things that probably each of us can point out as being a trauma or something that affected us as we grew up.
Mhm.
And acknowledging that, but then also feeling suddenly at that point in your life, maybe when you're in middle age, when you're hitting your middle ages, and you feel that it's such a massive thing, you need to acknowledge it and resolve it. And yet, on the flip side, my character is coming back with from Peru with childhood trauma. On the flip side, his father isn't really in a place to acknowledge the abuse that he inflicted on me as a child. but
Mm-hmm.
also he has his own needs. He has a carer. He's in final stages of neurological conditions, so of Alzheimer's. So my expectations of him aren't fair. And yet, actually, what do I really need? I probably, as a human, really need to find acceptance, and find peace as we guide each other towards the final stages of life, which we need to acknowledge as a human race as being a really valid, and actually, despite the trauma, it's a very beautiful. It can be a very beautiful experience.
Wow, amazing. All
But there are
right.
so many layers to this that I think it's very hard to put it in one box. You know, it could be that it's that it said it's an LGBTQ plus play. It isn't just that. It's got so much more going on.
Wow, amazing.
Um, and in terms of casting, I saw the ad online that Tim had put up as the producer and writer, and something about the script. There were quite a few different elements I thought were very aligned, and I remember thinking, should I be applying for this? And I don't really know why I thought that, but I knew it was a big yes. Put yourself forward. I needed to explain some of my background so that Tim could understand why I felt very aligned with it. And I was called in for a casting. I did quite a bit of work in the build up to it, and then the next morning I found out that I got it, even though classic actor, I thought I probably hadn't.
Wow,
So I was really thrilled. It's a great experience and it's a big challenge.
wow, amazing. Yeah, I think sometimes we have those opportunities in life that's not expecting. Sometimes just just audition for it, and you never know what can happen.
Yes. Always say yes. Always put yourself forward.
It's the power of saying yes. That's what I always believe
Yes.
as well. Amazing.
Especially if it scares you.
Yes, absolutely. I think when you're gonna do something in your life, and if you don't feel the butterflies in your tummy, what's the point?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
You're not growing.
totally. And if you feel scared, if you feel like, oh my God, this is the right thing to do, it's a good sign that you should
Yeah.
step in because it's the way to go for sure.
I agree. It can get you in trouble as well.
Okay, Edward, so during the interview, I'm going to explore a bit more about your life and also about your journey, okay?
Of course.
Are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through memories in life and share your point of views?
I cannot wait.
Amazing. Welcome to William in the Magic Box. So I have here my best friend. Full of random fun questions. So what I'm going to do, I'm just gonna play a song just for us to relax before the first question, okay?
Of course.
Let's do it. Right, so before I start the interview, during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about or you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Of course. Thank you.
Right, first question is, if you could invent a new holiday season, what that would be and what would be the celebration?
Oh, new holiday season. What would that be? Oh, I think it would be to celebrate all Geminis in the world and how brilliant we are.
And why
It
is
would be
that?
wild.
And why is that?
Well, it's very selfish, isn't it? Really, I'm a Gemini, so it would mean I'd have a break around my birthday. There would be no excuse for people. I think we would have no football at that time as well, so that all the guys in the room have to focus on having a good time. Um, I just think, if we believe in star signs, Geminis are quite unique, and we are a handful. And I think you need a bit of space around our birthdays, definitely.
Oh. And do you like celebrating birthdays?
I do. My friends would definitely say my birthdays carry on for a long time, but I'm the sort of person that doesn't really plan too much in advance. So no one ever knows quite what's going to happen next for my birthday, but it ends up being one thing after another.
And aging for you is something that bothers you or you just see as a matter of life?
I don't understand it. I'm at that stage now where I can see my age, 45, and I think, oh God, I remember my great aunts and uncles and my old babysitter when I was a kid. They'd always say, I don't feel my age. I still feel exactly the same, and I feel it's almost like my head is sort of in the wrong body in a way. It's very bizarre. But you
Wow.
know, but I'm accepting. I think life gets better as I get older.
And if you could stay any age for the rest of your life, what age that would be and why?
I think where I am now, I think I'm the happiest and the most grounded I have ever been.
Wow. And why is that?
I have lots of great friends. I have beautiful family. My nephews and nieces are growing up a bit, so I can have great times with them. It's just, you know, I want to hold on to that time as they're growing up.
Wow.
But also, you know, I'm really lucky. I have both of my parents here. They're both around, and I've got a lot going on. It feels like everything I've done in the past, all the work I have done, everything I've invested in myself, it got me to this point, which is where I'm being rewarded with work that I really love and I'm being challenged with.
Amazing. Very good. Next question. Let's do it. Okay, next question is, tell us a funny story or a moment that happened to you when you were a child at school.
Oh, goodness. What happened? Uh,
Did you like school growing up?
I had a very hard time, actually. I got really badly bullied. I wonder what the funny time was. I have to skip that part. Oh, I know. Okay. Yeah, I do have something quite funny. I didn't find it funny at the time at all. I had been very badly bullied in my school before,
Mhm.
and that's a whole other story. But I ended up going to the school that my mum knew I should be at. Mums always know. And reluctantly, I went to this co ed school with girls and boys.
Uh-huh.
And my name is Edward, of course. After 2 days, all the boys in the school started calling me George.
Hmm.
And I didn't understand. And they said I looked like a George. But then it turns out that actually they were all making up this story that I fancied Georgina in my class. And it just became this whole thing. And it actually had me in tears. I actually cried over it. I'm so sorry,
Oh,
Georgina. It was brutal. Like, poor Georgina. Like, you know, like she was a beautiful lady. But no, it wasn't for me at the time. It was just felt, you know, it was just all too much.
and who was your favorite teacher at the time?
I'm going to upset a lot of people, aren't I? But it must have been Mrs. Bishop. Mr. Bradley, you were in my mind, my drama teacher, but Mrs. Bishop was the arts teacher. Mr. Bradley was our drama teacher. But Mrs. Bishop she just had this like prefab building. They hadn't even given her a proper classroom. But at that stage, it was this prefab building in the gardens of the school. But it was fine art was just a natural thing for me. I learned how to perspective draw when I was 6. I could just see the world and translate it somehow. And it became my, you know, in lunch breaks, if I was, you know, didn't really want to be around the other kids, I could just go to the classroom and draw, paint, or sculpt, or do pottery. I just absolutely loved it, and she
Wow,
really championed me and just really supported me through
that's
it.
amazing.
Yeah.
I think those
Thank you, Mrs.
teachers,
Bishop.
I think those teachers, they always leave a mark in our lives, and sometimes they even don't understand or don't see it.
Oh,
You know what I mean? And when you look
I
back, like,
do.
oh, they had a big part. It's funny you saying that because back in Brazil, I was bullied as well. I think all of us, we had moments, yeah.
Yeah.
But I never kind of somehow, I wasn't that crying or anything. So I was just like avoid the situation. But I loved sports, always loved sports growing up. And I had this physical, like a teacher. So she was training us like volleyball, basketball, football, everything. And she was very imposed, very tall. And I remember when she was around, I loved her classes because when she was around, I knew I could be myself because somehow she would stand up for me. Somehow I even didn't
Yeah.
understand, but I just felt so safe when she was around.
Yeah.
Fun enough, I invited her for the Magic Box and we had the interview and
Ah,
I know. And I told her about the situation and she started crying because she said, William, I didn't know that. I just was being myself. I was literally just being a teacher. And I was like, you have no idea when
oh,
you were around. And she was so happy to know that. She was like, oh my God, I didn't know that I had this big impact in your life at the time. And I said to her,
wow.
yes, you did. You did because you're so imposing, so strong, this very strong, teacher. And I felt so safe when she was around. And I told her, and she was emotional. So I was like, oh my God, I didn't know that. So that's the beauty of teachers. Sometimes they are just performing their job. However,
Yes.
some students like you and me, we look back like, my God, that had a big impact in our lives for sure.
My headmistress at that school, knowing I'd been bullied because I was academic as well,
Right.
when she knew what had happened, she took me under her wing and she said, "No one will ever be allowed
This,
to bully Edward." And I
yeah,
have thanked her since, but she's so humble.
yeah,
She doesn't get it. She was quite scary, but
right.
Mrs. Bayliss, protected me, and I knew I had a protective bubble around me there. So
That's
you know,
amazing.
you get teased and things were silly, and I could cope with it. It didn't matter. It's
Totally.
all about like when kids find that safe place where they can
Yeah,
manage the
yeah.
levels more themselves, and that's brilliant.
And it seems so interesting because, growing up in the 90s, the 80s, and I remember I was a teenager, and of course, in my classroom, there was more boys than girls. And when she was separating, like we had open to play some sports, of course, the boys wants to play football. And she needs to take some boys to complete the volleyball team for the girls. And when she said, "Oh, who would you like to join?" I was like, "Yes, I want to because I love playing volleyball." And I knew it that I could say yes because she was there. Even if the boys would say, "Oh, William's gonna play with the girls," I didn't care because I knew she was there.
Ah,
So
yeah, yeah.
it's beautiful. Saying that, tell me, when was the moment in your life that felt like, okay, I was born to be an actor? That's my gift. That's something about me. That was a moment, or you just find out, through life?
I think I found out through life. I mean, that experience of playing Malvolio when I was 13 was it was quite seismic, and then having people to come in to support you. You know, my aunt would come with my cousins, and that realizing that people realizing that for that moment you can captivate people. When I say captivate, you can hold people's attention and take them on a journey with you. But also, I think there's something about knowing that your parents are proud of you, and I think it was one of those key moments when I really thought, this is something I don't have to worry about. I can
Oh,
come up here and I can do something that other people can't do. And from that, in that school, I then ended up being invited by one of the girls in the year above me to go to the Thorndike Theatre, which is in Leatherhead. And I started doing the youth theatre there. And we would, in the summer, you'd develop a great big production collaboratively, and you put that on. It must have been dreadful. I mean, I dread to think, but I've still one of my best friends I'm still in touch with from when I was 15, and we met
wow.
that one summer. And she's in Australia. I was just talking to her earlier, actually, and when I was on my way to meet you today. Um,
Oh,
but that was suddenly I found that I could take myself out of the school environment, and I'm now in a democratic space where all these kids of different ages are put together, and there's a level of respect you pay each other, because some of them were quite vulnerable actually, but others were from very wealthy families, but there was a respect for each other that you didn't necessarily see at school. And I think it allowed me to build up my real confidence to start making up my own friends who I chose to have.
totally.
So yeah, and then that really is what cemented then my performance after school.
Wow. Yeah, having those people around us, like your parents supporting you, I think it's a big plus because you feel safe. You feel like you just can go for it because they'll be there for you.
Yeah,
Amazing.
exactly.
Next question, let's do it. Right, so let's go back for the next question. Let's go back to your career as an actor. So tell me, what do you like the most about it? When you're acting, when you are performing your career, and of course, there's always the flip side. What do you find most challenging about it?
It's possibly almost the same answer.
Mm.
I think I hinted earlier, I love to challenge myself. So what I'm loving about my career is that I can morph into different people, and I can challenge myself to develop those characters. So someone might actually say that's a Gemini trait anyway, that we have different personalities. but I think there's something in me that is naturally a bit of a shapeshifter. I believe I can talk to anyone. I can fit into any environment, and I feel safe. I love talking to different people from different backgrounds and different cultures. So I think in a way that curiosity allows me to investigate characters and develop the character, look at their past, where they've come from, all the things that aren't written, but the
Right.
clues that I can find and interpret in the script. On the flip side of that, the terror never leaves you. It never goes. There's always that little monster on my shoulder telling me I'm rubbish, and everyone knows it, and they're all judging me. But I'm
Interesting.
better. I'm better at laughing at it now. I can really feel it. I've been filming The Tempest all this week, and I've just finished on Thursday night playing Prospero, and I got cast in this with some amazing actors. I mean, really talented um, group of actors, and I feel quite privileged to have worked with them. Very privileged.
Oh,
But even though I'm delivering some great big monologues in front of them, I know I have every right to be there. There is still that little person on the shoulder saying they all thought that was rubbish, and they're all wondering why you got the part. It's too ridiculous. But
and how do you deal with this little evil in your shoulders? How do you control it?
I laugh at it. I just
Amazing.
think he's ridiculous.
Oh,
And I also think he's there to keep my head screwed on and keep me grounded. I think it's important because on the one hand he's allowing me to think about actually all the work I've done on myself, but also as an actor and the investment I continue to put in, and the all those times I say no to other things so that I can invest time in it. But also it's, if my ego is growing over it, he's actually reminding me that I can't rest. I need to
wow.
make sure that I'm putting the effort in. So he's the good, the light in the dark, perhaps.
It's like love and hate at the same time. They are together. You know
Oh
what I
yeah,
mean? It's
yeah,
your best
yeah.
friend at the same time to your enemy. It's like there's a mix there, which is
It's
amazing.
me.
Health. It's healthy. I think it's
Yeah.
healthy at the end of the day. Absolutely. Okay. Next question is, where do you see yourself living when you retire?
Wow. I could be anywhere. I'm a bit of an adventurer. I have
Hmm.
a community where I live. I'm in Barnes, in southwest London on the Thames, and I've got a lot of friends here. So I have my community, but I have friends all over London. I have friends all over the world. I would love to live abroad at some point. I would love to be somewhere else as well. But in the end, this annoyingly does feel like my home. Um, but if I could do anything and just click my fingers and have everything I need, I would be in the countryside. I'd be in the green. I'd have some fields where I can have wildflowers, and I can be building habitats, and I can have nature around me, and be inspired by the wildlife and countryside and blue sky and seeing the stars. That's really
Tell
what
me,
I really want. But
tell me a friend or a person in your family, someone that when you're feeling the lowest, for some reason, we have those moments, this person comes to your mind for you to open up a little bit or talk a little bit. And at the same time, the same person comes to your mind when you're feeling the greatest. You feel like, oh my God, I need to share this moment with this person. So tell me, which
I
person
mean, I'm
comes?
re- I'm really lucky. I have amazing friends, and they're so supportive. And it would be unfair of me to mention one person. But perhaps the one person I'm going to mention, and I'm going to I mean, really, I could list a whole load of people right now, and friends and family that are really important. So I am really blessed. But I'm going to mention Mairead because she was the person that I met, who was a bit like when I met her, it was like a ski pole went down, and my life just did a little turn around that pole, and it opened me up to a new world. Of well-being, people in the well-being industry, but also uh, career-wise. She's got an incredible career that is blossoming, and I'm watching it blossom. But we go to Cannes Film Festival together. We're able to talk about the film industry together, and she's always got my back and is always championing me. And I know that she and I, career-wise, are going to keep rolling together on it, as well as friends. You know, and I
Wow.
can tell her things that might be really embarrassing or I'm insecure about. There are other people too that I can tell, but yeah, I think because of the career as well, she understands things.
Okay, so she's watching this interview right now. We have a moment, an opportunity to send her a message. What should you say? She's watching.
Oh, Mairead, I'm always eternally grateful for our friendship, and I just want everything for you. And I know that that's going to come as well. Anyway, it's all on its way.
Beautiful connection with people. Those people, they come into our lives. You don't go around saying, "Oh, you're gonna be my best friend. Oh, I'm gonna have a good relationship with you." It doesn't work like that. It just when clicked, that's it.
Yeah.
It's a genuine, natural thing that happens for sure. Great. 3 questions left. Let's do it. Okay, so before the next question, let's do a little game. So let's pretend that you have in your hands the biggest budget. So money for you is not a problem. And you're gonna put together like play a scene or a short movie, anything. And you can cast anyone in the world for this event, this project, because you have a lot of money. You're gonna be on it as well, and you're gonna cast anyone to play your mom, any other to play your dad, at the same time, a romantic lover, and also you can have a producer or a director anywhere in the world to help you to put all together. So tell me those names.
Wow. Okay. So, right. First of all, who is going to play my mum? She's going to hate this, but I'm just choosing her because everyone says she looks like her. But it should probably be Helen Mirren just for that reason. My
Wow.
mum doesn't look the same as her, but everyone thinks she does. So I'm going to say that for fun because it's going to annoy her. Oh no,
I
you
love
know what? No, I'm not. Sorry,
Too
Helen.
late. Too late.
It's
I'm joking. I'm
uh,
joking. I'm
it
joking.
has to be um. Oh my god, I'm going to lose names now. Um, I have just completely forgotten her name. Where am I going to go with this? Okay, who's going to play Dad? Let's have Michael Douglas for Dad.
Okay.
I think that could be quite entertaining.
Wow.
Joanna Lumley for my mum. We're going to
Okay.
have Joanna Lumley for mum because she's just going to crack me up as well. I think she's absolutely brilliant and she's kind-hearted. We're going to
Oh,
have Michael Douglas. So I think the two of those together. Oh, I could have done Goldie Hawn though, couldn't I? And Michael Douglas. Anyway, Michael Douglas because I think he's going to add a little sparkle into Dad's accountancy role. Um, and who's going to be my love interest? I mean, I think I'd like a few lovers. So I wonder who it's going to be.
and now your romantic partner.
Romantic and love interest. I mean, for the sake of the movie, I'm going to say let's do Emma Stone because she knows
Wow.
how to play bizarre, and I like that. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
And
And I think if it's going to be a story of my life, I would like it to be quite trippy and completely. It's going to blow your mind. You'll just go, "What the hell just happened?" Because that's what's going on in my head all the time.
wow. And the big boss to help you to put all together.
Oh, I'm gonna pick my friend Giselle. She's a producer, but she understands. She's got maybe about 12 films in production at the moment with her company,
Wow.
and I think that she would. She's from the art world originally. I think she would understand the visuals of it.
Wow. Okay, so the question is going to be a bit tougher now. So let's not put your friend on this next question because you already
Uh-huh.
know her. One
Yeah.
day you're going to wake up in the morning having 3 missed calls from those three you just mentioned right now, playing your mom, your dad, and your romantic partner. Which one you're going to call back straight away? Which one you're going to send a message? I'll call you back later. And the third one, you don't call back, you just ignore them for now.
I am definitely calling Joanna Lumley straight away. Definitely. I'd absolutely love to have a chat with you, Joanna. Uh, and I'd be inviting her out for lunch immediately. Yeah, we definitely need to have a few bottles of wine together. And Giselle, I'll be sending the text to say I'll contact you later. But she's a very busy lady, so I need to make sure that that I've got her in line. And Michael, like I'm sorry, I'll get in touch later.
Oh, I can believe it. Amazing. Okay, next question is, who do you count the most for help?
I would say it's probably going to be my friend Mary. She's a top photographer for interiors, but she gives very sound advice, and she's got her head screwed on. Even better than that, though, she gets all of my jokes, so she laughs I'll always have humor and everything, so she will just always notice the subtleties of something I say. I always
Wow.
get a laugh from her that other people don't notice.
What's the biggest joy of being Edward? Like, what do you like the most about being you?
I yeah, the biggest joy of being me is definitely that I know I can walk into any room and I feel like I can get the best out of people. I really feel this really like it's almost like there's something radiating out of me. I've always felt this really strong like a light that's bursting out of my chest, and I feel when I walk into a room I get this real sense
Wow.
of something beautiful happening, and I don't know quite what it is, but I just must love being around people. Or maybe I'm grateful they're there.
Totally. And what would be the title of your memoir one day?
Oh,
Ooh,
don't try this at home.
love it. 2 questions left. Let's do it. Okay, next question for you is, if you could be in a movie in real life, which one that would be and why?
Okay, I don't know why Star Wars popped in my head, but I'm not picking that. That's definitely not it. If I could be in any movie, it's going to be a Stanley Kubrick, I think, because I just love the cinematography. I just always did. I just find it so fascinating. I'm very visual, so I remember being a teenager watching The Shining or 2001: Space Odyssey, and it could have been a silent movie. It wouldn't really matter. I just find the soundtrack, the scores, and the cinematography so stunning. My jaw just drops, and I'm sucked into it. And to be a little piece of the visuals of that for me would just would be a dream. But for
Oh,
me, The Shining is one of my top films ever because I find the use of silence and suspense so effective, and it affected me so deeply that it would be an honor to have been in that.
what's the meaning of life for you when you think about life, Edward?
The meaning of life for me is to it sounds very corny, but as other people might say, it'd be to leave the world in a better place than it was when you arrived. Right now, I'm not sure I'm having a big enough effect on it, but for me, it's about being a good person with a good heart and being able to go to bed every day without feeling that I have hurt anyone. Or so I think it's about doing my best to be a good person.
Tell me a life lesson that life has taught you that you feel very grateful for.
It keeps teaching me that I should make the most of every single day as best I can. Um, a few of my 9 lives have in the cat world have gone, and each time I am so grateful that I am still here and that I can still that I still have the opportunity to shape my life. So I invest in myself. I keep investing because that is the thing that's going to move me forward and get me to where I want to be.
Do you feel like you are living your best life right now?
I do. I look, I could have a really healthy bank balance. That would be lovely, and it will be lovely when it comes. But you don't need much. And I think for me, I'm so blessed. I think maybe as much as anything in my outlook. But I'm blessed in that I am able to improve my own life and be content with what I've got at the same time.
Well, I think being grateful is an exercise. If you do every day, it just brings happiness to your heart, or you feel happy just knowing, you know what I mean, that you are grateful for simple things. I think life is about that. It,
Sometimes just being grateful for being tired. You know,
totally,
I'm tired because I've had all this amazing opportunity to work, or yeah,
absolutely. No, you just said something interesting. I love going to bed feeling exhausted, feeling,
yeah,
my
yeah.
God, I had a busy day, or I had a stressful day, or a day that made me learn something, or being able to do something that brought me joy. So why not? I love going to bed. Have the same feeling as well. I think it's actually, this is already a, a moment of being grateful for being tired.
And when you put your head on the pillow and you just
Uh,
think, "Oh my God, it's the
it,
best feeling."
it feels
I
great.
could I could be out at a party right now, but I'm so happy being in bed. Don't tell anyone.
Last question. Ready?
I
Let's
am.
do last one. You like dancing?
I do love dancing. Yeah.
Right. So before the last question, I'm sure acting, you showed so much already, how much you love it, your journey, your career. And I'm sure you have moments that for you, you're never going to forget. But tell me a moment so far, could be anything through your career that you go like, you know what? I will always have this moment close to my heart. Could be anything.
Yeah, I probably at the time it would have been being cast as Edward II in Edward II. It was a small theatre company in London, but we performed in some incredible buildings, and we were performing for 8 weeks in St Bartholomew the Great, which is a former priory in London, but it's huge. They filmed one of the wedding scenes in Four Weddings and a Funeral there. So it's a
Wow.
beautiful building, definitely haunted, but you can feel the power of the space. And then every night I was performing this incredible piece of classical theatre, but also, you know, I had the best part in it. It wasn't
Oh,
an easy play to put on. It was very challenging as a theatre company. It was very challenging personally. I found it really hard, but I remember seeing my parents looking, both of them independently, were so proud of me. And I remember it just being one of those really special moments when I realized at that time what I was really looking for was something that I knew I could look at and feel really proud of. And I was very critical of it, of my performances, but you know, overriding that, I was really I felt proud of it.
wow. Amazing. Last question for you is, what can make you cry and what can make you really happy?
Uh, what can make me cry? Onions. Actually, it's even when we're looking at scripts,
Mm-hmm.
I find that I can become very emotional reading it. And in fact, to go back to the play, Walking Each Other Home, I have been finding an emotional connection has been there. So I might be walking on the river while reading, going over my lines, and rereading the script, and I'll suddenly have an emotional response where I feel tears welling up because as an actor you're linking in with something from your past that I haven't had the experience that Michael has had in the past in the play, but I can relate something that's happened in my childhood uh, that isn't anywhere like anything like that, but it definitely has an emotional significance for me. So
Wow.
that makes me cry and
You,
laughter.
you mentioned a few times about, being bullied at school, growing up. Question for you. Knowing the person you are today, knowing your values, what you love or what you believe, if you had the superpower of erasing those moments in your life, would you do it or you'd keep it, knowing the person you are today?
I don't think I would. I always had the attitude that in fact it's made me who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of the kids in that school did come to apologize to me once, and I was only 19 then, and I hadn't seen them since I was 11. But it wasn't their fault. I was being bullied by the headmaster and the teachers as well. It was a very toxic environment. But I
Wow.
also understood why I was being victimized um, at the time, and it wasn't my fault. But it also wasn't the kids' fault. I really blame the teachers and I blame the parents for not holding their kids to account and seeing the bigger picture. Instead, I was being blamed for my own situation, which I didn't want to fight. I was just a nice kid. I wanted to get on with everyone. But I wouldn't change any of it because I think it made me stronger in the end. And I know karma always looks after me somehow, and it definitely does. I'm protected somehow. I'm touching wood right now, but I do feel I'm protected, so I'm very fortunate. So no, I wouldn't erase anything.
I'm sure you were, as you just mentioned, of course you forgave those children because they didn't know. They were just, following whatever was happening at the time. But have you forgiven the others, the adults who was conscious about it, or not, deep in your heart?
Do I forgive them? I mean, who knows what's going on in their lives, but children are pure and innocent and beautiful, and they need to be protected, and they need to be protected from themselves and the culture and society that we build up in our classrooms. But that the headmaster and the deputy headmaster there, it was abuse, basically. I was being abused by them. Not I wasn't being physically abused in any way or sexually, nothing like that happened to me, but they were abusing me by blaming me for being bullied, and they witnessed a lot of things happening. I'd be held up the wall by my throat with my feet off the ground, and a punch would be about to hit my face, and the teacher walks in, looks at it, and walks out again. Or I get locked in the room, or anyway, that all the past. So to forgive them I do believe in forgiveness. It's harder to forgive them because none of us should have had to go through that. But forgiveness is in my heart. Will I ever forget? No. Would I tell the story? I would love to tell that story one day, actually. I would.
Easy. I think it will be part of your healing process as well, doing that.
Yeah.
For sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And again,
I think, you know what it is as well for me? I think one of the hardest things I found was that my mum was going through it. It's like as a parent, what are they meant to do? I really felt sad for my parents.
Totally.
Because you can't fix it easily.
Yeah. But again, I get your point, and you wouldn't release, of course, because it made the person you are today. And I'm sure you are even grateful for those situations because it built the person you are today, and you are feeling great the way you are, how you are. And I think all of us with those traumas in life, and sometimes going through, we don't understand. However, when you become an adult in life, talk to us in a different way. So we see things in a different way. Thanks for sharing, Edward. I know it's very personal, and we were able to talk a little bit about it. Right, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. I'm going to say some words, just the one word that comes to your mind, okay? Quick thinking, right?
Oh dear.
Let's start
Good luck with this. What's going to come up?
One word for money.
Oh, greed.
Fear.
Well, I want to say do it. Go.
Right. Family.
Love.
Life.
Happiness.
Religion.
Faith.
Love.
The word need came up.
Sex.
Wild.
Ooh, politics.
Don't.
Friendship.
Hug.
Desire.
I don't know why I'm thinking of the word peace.
Okay. Regret.
Never.
Success.
Yes.
Wish.
Always.
Happiness.
Why have I gone blank here? Happiness. Guaranteed.
I like that. One word for London.
Home.
One word for England.
Oh, that's quite hard. I don't know. I want to say green, but that's absolutely not original. I think England's confused.
Okay. And the last one now, acting, one word.
Ecstatic.
Wow. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your best friend for a coffee, and I'm going to ask your best friend, define Edward in one positive and one negative word only. What your best friend would say about you.
I'm thinking of a few of my friends. I think the first word they would say, and I think they would genuinely say brilliant.
Okay. Negative?
Um, in one word. Ooh. What's the negative going to be? It's good that I can't think of this. Maybe it's my ego kicking in. Finances.
All right. Let's play now, Edward, in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Okay, Edward, you can ask me a question now.
I've got the power. I would like to know if there is one moment in your life that you could say changed it for the better.
Wow, great question. Wow. I had some moments that, for me was a bit challenged. I'm Scorpio, about astrology, I'm Scorpio. Ooh, Scorpio, we love the prohibited, we like to explore things. I think as a teenager, I was a bit rebel. Rebel, like things. I was very, I don't know. I was trying to understand the words and everything. And I think my mom, me and my mom, we have very good connection. And I think sometimes, she's, she said things, or she said things to me that she was right. And of course she was parenting. She was, she knew it. And I had moments that I literally, how can I put that? Not that I ignored her, but somehow I didn't, somehow I, not that I faced her, but I somehow I didn't follow her, let's say, her, how can I explain to you, her experience, the message that she wanted to pass to me. And I remember at the time, I was like, no, 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 you are wrong. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm going to and everything. And actually she was right, because I had situations, growing up as a teenager, rebel, that I knew that, so I thought that I was right, but I wasn't. So if I could go back in time and listen to her more carefully, I think, when the reality somehow came to me, I was like, okay, she was completely right. That would be a moment for me that I would change something. I would somehow listen to her properly. But again, when a teenager, you think you know everything. You think that you are, yeah, of
I mean,
course.
how could you do it differently? It's like it's the only way you knew to do it. It was part
Totally.
of your makeup, wasn't it?
Absolutely. And I wouldn't change it, because I learn as well. Sometimes you learn the hard time. And I think that for me was, but I could tell you so many, Edward, but this one came to my mind right now, about, yeah, sometimes if I could go back and listen to her a little bit more carefully, I think I would avoid some tears or maybe some troubles, for
I
sure.
think we all know, we all get that, though, don't we? Our mums do know, they do know things, and they're very instinctive. They know what their kids need. I
Totally.
always say to my friends, you know best, mum knows. If you're thinking it, you're probably right. So make sure you act on it.
Totally. Absolutely. Did you enjoy the interview?
I loved it. It was great fun. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks, Edward. Thanks for taking the time as well. I know you are a busy man and you made time for the interview. And I can't wait to come to see the play. I'm not going to be, unfortunately, I'll be traveling on the opening night. I won't be here, but I'll be back 3 days after, and I already talked to Tim, and I can't wait to come to see the play. I'm going to
Oh,
bring
that'd be
up,
amazing.
absolutely. I can't
I've
wait
got
to.
quite a few people have booked already on my side. So I've got the opening night. I think I have about 15 people booked at the moment, and the
Wow.
closing night. But yeah, I've got quite a lot of people coming already, which is great.
So,
But
yes, I'm gonna bring
yeah,
some friends as well, and I can't wait to to see. He's been very excited talking about it, and I can't wait to come and see.
amazing.
Hey, amazing.
Oh, thank you so much. That would be amazing.
Of course, can't wait. We're gonna say hello to you, and we're gonna have a beer.
Definitely. We will all need it. Tim will definitely need it.
For sure,
Bless
for
him.
sure.
Yeah.
Before you
Yeah.
go, Edward, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
The thing that I have learned recently that I think has made such a difference to me is if there is something you're passionate about, invest in it. I didn't ever do it when I was younger. I thought I can't afford it at the moment. I'll do it later. No, you need to invest in yourself. So if it's something you're passionate about, for me, it's one of the things I'm passionate about, but my career is as an actor. I need to invest in myself, and I'm so glad I have been doing it because I can
Yeah.
feel the difference in my contentment, in my happiness, but also I just know I can do it. And you just sometimes need that little extra investment in yourself to start to get the confidence to really
Totally.
see the routes that you need to take to follow your passion. So invest in yourself; it's so worth it, and you will also inspire other people along the way.
Amazing. Very good.
Thank you. I
Thanks.
hope everything was okay.
Thanks so amazing. I love the interview. I love the way that you express yourself. Okay.
Thank you, William. I really
Thank,
appreciate it.
thank you. And I see you in a few weeks in the play. Okay.
Amazing.
And
Have
good
a lovely
luck.
weekend.
You too. Take care.
Okay,
Bye
bye
bye.
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 So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.